Hello, I'm Professor Larry Louie, and welcome to MIB Accounting for the class of 2021-22. First of all, I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys on campus. It's been too long for us not to have all students in a community on our beautiful campus. So I look forward to seeing you next week. But I want to give you just a couple of introductory comments about our class because it may be in a different style than you're accustomed to in learning topics. So first you might think accounting and you get reactions like this. It's intimidating, it's scary. Or you might say, I don't need it, I don't get it, or I'm not good with numbers. I've heard them all. I've been teaching accounting since 2001, so it's been about 20 years, and I've heard all of them. My favorite, by the way, is a student who came up to me and said, Professor Louie, I'm allergic to numbers. It turns out that she did very well in the class because she let go of her fear and she went off to have a very good career. So I hope that's true for you. If you have any trepidation about accounting or numbers or analysis, set the fears aside and you'll get through it. All right. I hope that you get a reaction more like this, that you're fearless and you apply yourself and you become financially literate, because that's really the goal of this class, financial literacy. It is not that everyone is going to be an accountant. My guess is very few, if any of you, will become accountants. But if you don't know that, you will have a big blind spot and you won't be able to see what is going on in your company. That's essential for your job. It's also essential for your own financial well-being, your evaluation of investments, as you're approached, as I'm sure you will be over time, to join as a partner in a company or to sit on a board of a nonprofit or another company. So these are things you need to be good at, financial statements and understanding them. And that's our main goal. Again, not accounting per se, but using accounting information in order to evaluate and make decisions. And that's what we're going to do over the weeks we have together. So let's look at the structure of our course. It's pretty packed as our health classes. We start on the 16th of November and we're done with classes on December 13th, although there is a summative assessment, kind of a take-home exam that is not a team assignment, it's individual, that is done after the last day of class. But the green represents the financial accounting topics, and that's where we start. And we'll do those for the first 6 sessions. And then after that, we'll have a financial project presentation that is a team assignment. Each team will select a company, do financial analysis based on what we're learning in the first 6 classes, and present to your classmates on December 3rd on what you've learned about the company. After that, we shift gears, and we then move inside the company into managerial accounting. That's where we learn about cost relationships, how to do cost allocation, how to do budgeting, a bit of background on budgeting, and performance reporting for lines of business and the company as a whole. We'll also wrap up with an exciting new development in financial reporting called integrated reporting. And for that class, we will be joined by Carrie Guittard, who's your teacher in leadership. So she will come to my class on integrated reporting, where we bring together topics like ethics, social responsibility, sustainability, governance, all into reporting. So we have the crossover between leadership and finance. And then I will join Carrie for one of her classes. And in that class, we're going to discuss pretty common dilemmas that we face. I face them. I've seen other of my colleagues and friends face them. It's where we have an ethical dilemma related to our jobs. That really is a test of all of us and our own strength of character and our conviction to doing things well and doing things professionally, and of course in an ethical way. So in this couplet, as we call them, you'll be learning finance and leadership side by side over these weeks. And then I will join you for a class with Carrie on looking at financial dilemmas that cross over into maybe not illegality, maybe on the edge of legality, but definitely on the ethical front on things we will deal with. And she will join us in how we build in some of these measurements and reporting on how well the company is doing on non-financial measures. So that's what we're doing in this course. And yellow represents grading components. It's not all of them. It's the ones that are most prominent. One is the presentation, as I mentioned. The second is the summative assessment, which is a cumulative assessment of all the things we learn in this course. And you'll have time to do it, so it's not like a speed test, but it's something that is cumulative, and hopefully by the end of that, you'll feel very satisfied that indeed you have achieved a certain level of financial literacy. The grading components for this course, we have the summative assessment, which is the major assessment worth 40% of the grade. That's an individual item. We also have individual reflection videos, and I'll provide prompts on what that video will entail. And you can be sure it will cover the couplets, as we call them, the intersection between finance and leadership. Also, we have the team presentation, which is 30% of the grade, and that's where you and your team select a company, and you will report based on your analysis of their statements, their 10Ks, and also your analysis of how well the company is doing. And then the last but not least are homework assignments. And we used a flipped method of teaching in this class, which means the rhythm, if you will, is you watch a video before class. You then come to class and we will practice the skills that are covered in that particular video. After class and before the following class, I suggest that you do the homework assignment for that class. So you now have it wrapped up, the video, a class, and homework. And that's one nice little package. And then we move to the second one, same thing, a video, a class, and homework. I'm not going to restrict the homework to be done every evening because some of our classes will be back to back, but that's the ideal rhythm. But you'll see that homework will be due once a week, even though that's not the recommendation, but it is there in case you need to plan your time so that you can at least do all of the homework in a comfortable pace each week. This is a page that shows a sign-up sheet for the financial analysis project. I'll post it. I'm not expecting all of you to select your companies before the first class, since there may be questions, which we'll cover when we're together. But it's a sheet that will have each team designate their first and second choices. And I put that because it's kind of first come, first serve, because this is just a Google sheet. And we cannot have two teams do the same company. So that's a little bit of incentive for you to get together with a team and write down your first and second choices. All right? And I'll provide comments, and if you have questions, I'll help you select a suitable company. So before our first class on Tuesday, November 16th, this is what you must do. Otherwise, you'll be behind before we start. Not a good place to be. So watch the videos. It's in my courses. It's about 2.5 hours, so it's substantial. Think of it as replacing reading. Then that sounds better, right? About 2.5 hours for this first class, and it covers our approach to learning and teaching, and also the content of our first classes. And then we'll have a student survey. It's optional, but it helps me get a gauge on where you are and what topics you'd like to cover and what career directions you are seeking. That way I can feed that into the articles I choose from Wall Street Journal or topics or illustrations I may make along the way. So it helps me. Then what I recommend is that you connect with your teammates. You've already been assigned your teammates, and start thinking about companies you would like for the project. Now, the best is with a company that has products or services. And this might be, and the reason is our ratio analysis and a lot of performance metrics are around how well does a company manage its inventory, its sales, its receivables and collections from its customers. So those nitty-gritty things are best done with a product company. Now, if you have a service company, like a software company or a tech company, that's fine. They may not have a physical product, but still many of the things, or actually most of the things we learn, are equally applicable to like a software or other type of service business. What's tricky is if you pick a financial institution. I will not bar you from doing that, but know that it's more tricky to analyze a financial service business because what is their inventory? Well, I lend money, so I guess my inventory is money. Or I sell insurance, so I sell the ability to sleep at night, not fearing a financial calamity that might befall them, right? So financial industries in general are harder to analyze than a product or, say, a software tech company. And the note is first come, first serve. Whoever picks a company first will get that. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of companies available to look at on the exchanges. It should be a publicly traded company because then they're required to tell us things about themselves. If you pick a large, prominent private company like Cargill or Bertelsmann, they don't have very much disclosure because they don't want the world knowing what they're doing or how well they're doing. So the requirement is that it's a publicly traded one. If you're picking one that's publicly traded in the US, then it'll be in line with all the examples we have in the textbook I've selected, things like the SEC and reporting requirements. But I'm not, again, restricting that. If you want to pick a company from Europe or Asia or other continent, you may do so even if they use IFRS. But again, make sure you can get your hands on the statements. Make sure they're public and that you can grab publicly available information. That'll make your analysis much easier. And we have a textbook that this course is based on, and you can buy the book if you'd like, but it's optional because everything that we teach in the videos, in our work together in the classroom sessions are what we expect you to learn. However, students often find that textbook is there to illustrate and explain things a little more slowly with more detailed examples, right? So it's your choice, but it's certainly there, and the name and ISBN numbers are available in my courses. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I am pretty sure that if you apply yourself for the next few weeks when we're together, you're going to learn a lot about financial statements, financial reporting, and become more financially literate, which I mentioned is a lifelong professional skill that you'll have, and you'll get it right now before Christmas. How's that? Great Christmas present. All right, so see you soon. And remember, watch those videos. Bye-bye.